Right, so welcome. Just a set of light weights, excuse me, set of light weights. I'm using 1 pound dumbbells. Feel free to go heavier if you'd like. Of course, you can do it with just your body weight if you don't want to use the weights. You'll also be using a ball for today's class. I'm just using a small ball. Something you can place between your palms at heart center. We'll also place it between our thighs in a standing position as well as on the floor. All right, I'm gonna get our timer going. Go ahead and start your devices if you're tracking any kind of workout. Standing with your feet hip width apart and parallel. Draw your knees up towards your chest. Nice strong point through your toes. You draw the knees up. Get the knees gradually higher each time. Keep it going, lifting those knees up really high. So if you're just joining us, no worries, we're just getting started. Just a set of light weights, totally optional, as well as a ball. So you can place between your palms at heart center or between your thighs, both in a standing position as well as in a laying position. Go ahead and take your knee up and over to the side, over to a side lunge, really pressing your hips back. As you step that foot down, deep bend in that knee. Give me one more on each side, really opening up that hip. And then come on down to a low wide squat. Your feet are wider than your hips, your toes are slightly turned out. Good, and bend your knees down, coming to a low wide squat. Arms are up to a T. Reach down, tapping towards the opposite inside ankle. Maybe reaching for your ankle, maybe past your ankle, maybe your calf, your knee, your thigh, whatever you can reach for today. Coming back to an upright position with your shoulders stacked directly over your hips. All right, one more on each side. And then we're gonna hold our body upright. Shoulders once again stacked over our hips. Arms forward in a windmill motion. Chest staying lifted. Core is engaged. Go ahead and reverse that direction. Opening up your chest, opening up your shoulders. Relax your shoulders down from your ears. Keep the hips low, hinge forward at your waist. Give yourself a nice big hug and then squeeze your shoulder blades together as you lift your arms up towards the ceiling. A few more breaths here. And then come on down to a runner's lunge. Right knee down, left knee forward, pressing into that left knee, not letting that left knee pass your toes. Keeping your chest lifted, opening up your right hip. As you draw your hips back, straighten that front left leg, maybe point and flex, maybe circle out that left ankle, of course reversing that direction. Hold the left toes flexed, hinge forward, framing your left foot. Maybe bring your nose towards your knee, heart towards your thigh. Holding and breathing for 3, 2, and 1. Gently coming up. Switching sides, left knee down. Take a big step forward with your right foot, pressing into that right knee, allowing your left hip to really open up, keeping your chest nice and broad, shoulders remain stacked over your hips. And then straighten your front right leg as you draw your hips back, maybe point and flex or circle out that left ankle if that feels good to you. Of course, doing both directions if you're doing the circles. Go ahead and hold your right toes, flex up towards the ceiling, heel press into the floor, hinge forward at your waist. Maybe bringing the crown of your head towards your toes. Holding and breathing for 3, 2, and 1. Gently come up to standing, roll your shoulders back, roll them forward. Maybe grab a sip of water. And let's get started. All right, we're gonna start with our set of light weights. Again, totally optional. You can do just your body weight as well. Grabbing one weight in each hand. Make sure you have plenty of space behind you. This over here, doesn't roll around. All right, from here, your palms are facing up. We're gonna work into that right leg first. We're gonna step that right leg back. bicep curl, left heel raise, lower, step it forward. So hold that bicep curl. As you hold it in that low lunge, just the right leg steps back. Left heel pop and lower as you hold it in that reverse lunge. Your right knee is close towards the floor as you step back, making sure that your right knee is directly underneath your right hip. Your left knee is directly on top of your left ankle. And then drawing everything back together. Step it down, heel raise, lower, step it forward. Just that right leg is moving. Keep it going. All right, give me 2 more. All right, we're going to add on here. Come to a half curl. We're going to raise that left toe. We're going to pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Step it forward. Arms come lifted. Step it back halfway. Left heel raise. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Draw everything back in line. Keep it going. Oops. Stepping that right leg back. Half curl. Left heel raise. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Draw everything together. Bring it back down. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Draw everything up. Bring it back down. Heel lift. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Draw everything together. Step it back. Half curl. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. You can always hold on to a bar ledge with your left hand if you'd like as well. Pulse for 3, 2, and 1. Keep it going. Step it back. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Step it together. Step it back. Give me a few more here. Pulse, 2, and 1. All right, 1 more. We're going to add on here. All right, from here, just going to face you guys. Still with our palms facing up for that bicep curl. We're going to step it back, heel raise, heel lower, come to a curtsy, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Step it back to the reverse lunge, heel raise, heel lower, draw the right foot in. Step it back, left heel raise, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Draw to the curtsy, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Back to the reverse, heel raise, heel lower, step it forward. Step it back, heel raise, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the front heel, come to a curtsy, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Back to that reverse lunge, heel raise, heel lower, step it together. You got it. Stay with it. Left heel raise, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Lower that heel, come to that curtsy, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Back to that reverse lunge, left heel raise and lower, step it together. 1 more. Stay with it. Left heel raise, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the left heel, come to that curtsy, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Back to that reverse lunge, left heel raise and lower, step it together. All right, shake it out from here. Still with those arms. Whew. We are going to bring the feet hip width apart and parallel. Bring the arms by your side. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Come to standing overhead press. Pulse down for 3, 2, and 1. Raise it overhead. Draw everything together. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Lift the legs. Lift the arm. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Lift it up and lower. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Really firing up those legs. Warming up that upper body here with the shoulders. Come to stand. Press it up. Draw it back down. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Give me 1 more. We're going to hold in standing. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Hold it in standing. Now we have an Arnold press. Bicep curl. Press up. Palms face away. Draw everything together. Extend. Bicep curl. Palms face in. Press it up. Arms away. Draw everything in. And extend. Keep it going. Your shoulders remain stacked directly over your hips. Your chest is lifted. Maybe smiling through it. Relax your forehead. Core is engaged. That's it. Almost there. Press it up. Release everything down. and extend. Bicep curl, raise it overhead, extend the arms outward, draw everything in, and extend. Give me 2 more. Last one. All right, draw everything in. We have one more move on that right side, so bring your palms down. We're gonna lift and lower that right leg. So flex the right toes, your arms come out to a T. As you work the outer right hip, ground through that standing left leg, just a raise and a lower. Your core is engaged. Keep it going, really grounding through your standing left leg. From your big toe, back to your pinky toe, straight back to your heel. Raise and lower. You're working directly out from that right hip. So avoid letting that leg come forward, out to diagonal, back to diagonal, or straight back. It's just directly out from the hip. Draw everything back in line. Draw it out, back in line. Keep it going. Give me 3 more. Raise and lower, and raise and lower. Once more. All right, draw everything in. Now we have the same thing, and we're gonna work that left leg. So coming back to that reverse one. This time our palms are facing, so we have that hammer curl. So starting back from the top, we're gonna step it back. Left heel raise, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Draw everything in. Step it back, hammer curl, heel raise, heel lower, draw everything in. Step it back, hammer curl, heel raise, heel lower, draw everything. We'll add those pulses in the next round. Got a little ahead of myself here. Keep it going. Of course, if you want to add those pulses with the heel pop and lower, feel free to do so. Raise and lower. Same thing here as you step that left leg back. Make sure your left knee is directly under your left hip. Your right knee is directly over your right ankle. Bring it forward. Step it back. Heel raise, heel lower. Draw everything in. Step it back. Heel raise, heel lower. Step it forward. Last one. All right, we're gonna add those pulses now. So half curl, heel raise, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the heel, extend the arms, draw the leg in, curl it in, lift, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Draw everything in, bring it back, lift, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Lower, draw everything in. Keep it going. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the heel to the left foot forward. Step it back. Pulse for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the heel. Draw it forward. Of course, if you need to use that balance, you can use a bar or a ledge with your right hand. Lower the heel. Step it forward. Step it back. We have those curtsy lunges coming up next. Lower. Draw everything in. Step it back. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything in. All right, shake it out. Left leg steps back. Heel pop. Pulse for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the left toe. Come to a curtsy. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Back to that reverse lunge. Heel raise. Heel lower. Step it in. Step it back. Heel raise. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Lower that heel. Come to the curtsy. Pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Draw it back to reverse lunge. Heel raise, heel lower, step it in, step it back, heel raise, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Heel lower, come to that curtsy, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work. Step it back, heel raise, heel lower. Just a few more. Stay with it. Step it back, heel raise, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Heel lower, come to that curtsy, pulse it for 3, 2, and 1. Step it back, heel raise, heel lower. All right, step that left foot in. Maybe shake it out. All right, let's see where we're at. All right, from here, come back, feet hip width apart and parallel. Draw your elbows wide, have a soft bend in your knees. We're gonna reach that right hand down, still with the weights in your hand. Reach the right fingertips towards your ankle. Come back to upright. Now you want to ensure that it's as if your body is between 2 panes of glass. So as you reach for your toes, avoid letting that left shoulder hinge forward. Avoid rolling backwards. You want that left shoulder stacked directly over your right. And then coming back upright, reach the fingertips towards the outside ankle and back up. Keep it going. Really grounding through your feet here. Shoulders remain stacked over your hips, just hinging over that right side. Really crunching that right oblique. Feel the nice stretch in your left oblique. That's it. Give me one more on this side. All right, go ahead and switch side, left arm down. Right elbow wide, left fingertips long by your hip. Reach down. Come back upright. Just that gentle tap behind your right ear. As you bring that left hand down towards your left ankle, think about stacking your right shoulder directly over your left shoulder. Your core is nice and engaged. That's it. Keep it going. Reach. Draw everything back in line. And reach. Draw everything back in line. Keep it going. Few more here. Almost there. Give me one more. All right. With your arms in front, palms are facing down. Now we have that left leg lift with a forward arm raise and lower. Just a lift and a lower. Keep the left toes flexed. You're working that outermost side of that left hip. So same thing, keep your body nice and upright. As you lift that left leg, your arms raise forward, palms stay facing down. As you lower that left leg, your arms come back down towards the tops of your thighs. You're grounding through your standing right leg. Avoid letting that left leg come out in front to either diagonal in front or behind, or coming backwards. You want it directly out from your left hip. Feel that slight pinch in your left outer hip as you raise it and lowering it. Slow and controlled. Your core is engaged. That's it, almost there. Give me one more. All right, bring your feet back to hip width apart and parallel. Have a soft bend in your knees, hinge forward. Palms are facing in. From here, we're gonna lift the arms up, elbows bend, extend, draw the arms down in front, arms lift, elbows bend, extend, draw them down in front. So keep the arms close in toward your body. Keep those elbows super high as when you raise them with your initial raise. Keep it going. Maybe keeping your gaze down in front of you, a few feet in front of your toes to avoid straining your neck looking side to side or hyperextending it looking forward. That's it. Just a few more here. Lift, bend, extend, and lower. Two more. Arms lift, arms bend, extend, and lower. Last one. All right, from here, we're going to have the bicep curl. We're going to come to that right heel. We're going to come to a squat, step it forward, back to center, squat, step it back. So just that right leg, you're staying on that right heel. You have that bicep curl. Step it forward, back to center, back in line with the left, squat, step it back, squat, step back to center, and squat. So every time you squat, you are drawing your palms to the same shoulder. That right heel does not ever lower. You're only pressing the right ball of your foot in towards the floor. Chest is nice and lifted. Keep a soft bend in your standing left knee, a deep bend in your right knee the entire time. That's it. Give me one more in each direction. Draw it forward, back in line with the left, curl, back behind. One more time to center. All right, shake it out. Go ahead and come up to that left heel. Palms are facing. We have that hammer curl now. Squat, come forward, step it forward, squat, draw it back in line, squat, drop behind, squat, back in line, squat. Keep it going. So you're adding that little squat every time you move that left foot. You're moving it forward, back in line with the right, backwards, back in line with the right. Keep it going. We're going to come onto the floor next. it, just a few more. We're going to swap these weights for a ball here in just a moment. All right, give me one more of each. Squat center, come to standing, drop forward, squat, come center, squat, drop back. One more in the center. All right, shake it out. Go ahead and set those weights off to the side. Keep them close by. We will use them again. All right, we're gonna work that outer hip even more. So grab that ball. We're gonna come into a 90-90. So what you wanna do is you wanna have that left knee in front bent at 90, your left leg in back also bent at 90. You can have that leg out directly from your hip. You can draw that leg up a little bit closer towards your left ankle or your left heel if that feels better for you. If it's too much work here on your outer hip. So coming into that 90-90 stance, just relaxing your toes. Grab that ball, place the ball between your palms at heart center. Now from here, we're gonna lift the back knee and lower. You're squeezing that ball as you lift and lower. Now, you can lift that back foot or you can keep it down, notating the slight rotation as you lift and lower. Core is nice and engaged. Keep your body upright. Keep your shoulders stacked over your hips. So try to avoid leaning into that side. Keep your body nice and upright. You're lifting and lowering that back leg. Really feeling that rotation, opening up your right hip, working that outermost part of your right outer thigh and your right glute. Squeeze that ball in between, elbows remain wide. Keep it going. That's it. Still going. Keep it moving, lift and lower. You've got it. All right, give me one more. All right, go and release that right knee back down. Still squeezing that ball. We're gonna draw the left elbow down and then right elbow down. So this is the crunch, very small movement. If you find a slight pinch, maybe extend your leg and then you can come back into it. Again, you can have that right knee directly out from your hip if that's comfortable to you. You can also draw that leg closer up towards the back side of your left ankle. Whatever works for you, keep squeezing that ball. Gentle rotation to the left, gentle rotation to the right. Little oblique crunches here. Keep it going. Just going to turn to the side here. You'll see why in just a moment. We're going to set that ball down. And we've got a slight stretch. One more on each side. Left, center, and right. All right, set that ball down. Hope it doesn't roll away like mine likes to do. Now we're going to come into a nice stretch, but it's also a nice hip opener. So bring your hands to heart center. You can also bring your hands down to the floor. We're going to come up onto that left hip, slow and controlled. Slowly lower back down. Then we're going to rotate the knees, coming onto that back knee so you're in the opposite position. Hips raise slowly and lower slowly. Come back to the front. Hips raise, hips lower, 90-90. Nice hip opener here. All right, we're going to do one more on each side, and then we're going to stay on that back side. You can always bring your hands down at any time if you need to. Lift and lower. Last time. All right, when you get there, whoop, hold it here. All right, if your ball rolled away like mine did, go ahead and grab it. All right, now we have the same thing on this side. So your right foot is bent in front, your left foot is bent behind. And maybe one side's different from the other, that's totally fine. You can have that left knee directly out from your hip. You can also draw that knee closer up to the bottom right ankle if you'd like. Grab that ball, place the ball between your palms. We're gonna lift and lower that back left knee. Now maybe you lift that knee super high. Maybe you can get that foot even off the floor and lower. It's a slight rotation of the hip. Maybe you feel like you can lift it up, but you're not moving it, and that's perfectly fine. You'll get there, just a raise and a lower. You want to open up that left hip. You're going to feel it in your outer hip, and we have that stretch coming up next. Squeeze that ball as you lift the leg, elbows stay wide. Squeeze, lift, release, lower. Squeeze, lift, release, lower. So avoid pressing into that front right leg. That leg already did the work. It gets to relax now. Keep squeezing that ball as you lift the leg. Release as you lower the leg. Give me 2 more. Squeeze, lift, release, lower. Squeeze, lift, release, lower. All right, hold that squeeze between the ball. Now we have those crunches. Left elbow towards the left knee. Drop back to center. Right elbow down towards the floor. Drop back to center. Now you'll notice on that right side, you don't have that stability as you have with that left knee poking out. So maybe if you notice if you roll too far, you might roll up on your side. That's okay. Keep it going. Elbows stay wide. Really squeeze that ball. Don't release that tension. Keep that tension in your shoulders, in your biceps, and in your triceps. Pressing your palms. Maybe you feel like your palms can touch. Just a slight rotation. Your core is engaged. We're going to come back to that 90-90 stretch in just a moment. All right, give me 1 more on each side. Left elbow down, come to center. Right elbow down, come to center. All right, release your ball down. Hopefully it doesn't roll away like mine continues to do. All right, we're going to come up on, bring your hands to heart center, come up onto your left knee. Press your hips forward. Gently and slowly release down. Rotate your knees to the back. Press, lift. Release down slowly. Switch to the other side. Press, lift. Release down. Rotate. Press, lift. All right, 1 more on each side because it's so much fun. This is a really great stretch. Keep your core nice and engaged the entire time. Slowly lower. Last time. All right, release down. All right, as promised, grab that ball. Place that ball between your thighs. Roll all the way onto your back. We're going to work more of those glutes that we just stretched out. Your feet are flat on the floor, feet are hip width apart and parallel, palms down by your hips. We're just going to lift and lower, barely tapping your glutes towards the floor before lifting right back up again. Your hips are pressing up towards the ceiling. Engage your abs, squeeze your glutes. Entire sole of your foot is pressed firmly into the floor. Imagine that your glutes are a sponge, and as you lift your hips up towards the ceiling, you want to get every little bit of water out of that sponge as you can. Firmly pressing your feet to the floor, big toe, straight back to your heel, all the way up towards your pinky. Keep it going, palms facing down. Your shoulders stay pressed firmly into the floor. Give me 3 more. And lower, 2 more. Lift and lower. All right, we're going to hold at the top here. Hold as high as you can. And then squeeze that ball. Tiny squeezes. Now, your shoulders are pressed firmly into the floor. We're not doing a full bridge or a wheel. Just your hips are lifted. Imagine somebody has a string under your hips and they're pulling you up towards the ceiling. That's how high you want your hips. Your palms stay pressed down to the floor. Your feet are flat on the ground. Squeeze that ball between your knees. Imagine that your knees can touch. Keep it going. Tiny squeezes here. That's it. Give me a few more. We're going to set that ball down here in just a moment. Tiny squeezes. That's it. Give me 3 and 2 and 1. Release your hips now. Set the ball off to the side. Trade it for those weights. Keep the ball close by you though. All right. From here, elbows are wide. Extend your legs long. We are right elbow to left knee. Extend. Right hand to left toe. Extend. Weights are optional. Left elbow to right knee. extend left hand to right toe. So you have opposite elbow to knee, extend opposite hand to toe, extend, then you're switching sides. Opposite elbow to knee, opposite hand to toe. Now that non-working leg can be straight and flat on the floor. If you like to add more heat to the core and make it more challenging, hover that non-working leg. Give me one more on each side, opposite elbow to knee, extend, hand to toe, extend, elbow to knee, extend, hand to toe, extend. All right, go ahead and draw your elbows wide behind your head, legs up to the ceiling. We're gonna lower and lift. Lower and lift, slow and controlled. Now your shoulders can be lifted off of the floor, gaze up towards the ceiling. You can also lower your head flat on the floor, so with your elbows wide. Your lower back is pressed firmly into the floor. So if your lower back lifts up or if you have any discomfort, you can always place your hands under your hips or opt to not go as low. So if you can go to 45 degrees and come right back up, that is perfectly fine. You want your lower back glued into that floor. Raise and lower. The lower you go towards the floor, the lower that hover is, the more challenging it is. Keep your abs engaged, your navel pulled into your spine. Gaze remains up towards the ceiling. All right, hold the legs up towards the ceiling. Your next one, reach your fingertips towards your toes, and then reach and lower. Reach, lift, and lower. So your shoulders are lifting completely off of the floor. You can have your legs straight, or you can have a micro bend the knees. Feel free to point, flex, or relax your toes. You want all the work to be in your core, working those upper abs, reaching for your toes, maybe past your toes. Reach for your ankles, your shins, your knees, whatever you can today, reaching and coming back down. You've got it. Just a few more. Reach and lower. Avoid using any momentum, so slow it down. Think the slower the better. And just keeping everything moving. Give me 5 more. And 4. And 3. And 2. All right, last one. All right, release the weights down. We're gonna grab that ball again. We're gonna come to that reverse tabletop. So your knees are bent at 90, your knees are over your hips. Bring the ball into your left knee. Press the ball into your left knee with your right hand. Lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Point the toes, point the right toes. We're gonna extend the right arm and left leg and draw everything back in. Extend, draw it in. Now same thing here. Any exercises you're doing on your back and you're working that core, as long as your back isn't lifted, you want that lower back pressed firmly into the floor. So as you lower that opposite arm and leg, actively draw your navel into your spine and actively press your lower back firmly into the floor. Draw everything back in and extend. Draw it in and extend. Give me 5 more. That's 4. All right, last 3 here. Then we're gonna switch sides. And 2. And 1. All right, draw your knees back over your hips. Place the ball to your opposite knee, opposite arm, pressing in. Extend the opposite arm, opposite leg. Draw everything back in. Extend, draw it in. So the lower that you draw your opposite arm and leg, the more challenging it is. The more you need to actively engage your core. Exhale as you extend the limbs. Inhale as you draw everything back in. Keep it going. That's it, just a few more. Almost there. Give me 1 more. All right, draw everything in. Draw your knees to your chest. We roll side to side like a ball. We're not done just yet. All right, rock and roll yourself 3 times, up and back. All right, once you get there, don't set your feet down. Hold and hover. Maybe extend your legs, extend your arms for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, cross your ankles. We're going to find a tabletop position. From here, we want to place that ball under our right hand. Left palm is flat on the floor. Now that ball in your right hand is totally optional. Extend your left leg straight back. Flex your left toes. Relax your right toes. We're going to lift and lower that left leg. Now pressing your right hand into the floor with that ball is giving you a little bit less stability. Try to avoid letting that ball roll around. You can also always place your right hand palm facing up on your lower back. You want your back to be flat. Avoid arching or rounding your spine. Keep it nice and flat. Placing your hand on your lower back allows you to focus on that. You can also press your right hand into the floor or straight onto the ball. Just a lift and a lower. Give me 3 more. Last 2. And 1. All right, set that left leg down. Keep it extended. Set the ball off to the side. We're going to reach our right arm up towards the ceiling. Under and through the left side body, hovering and holding. Lift it up 2 more times. Open the chest. Reach it under and through, hovering and holding, getting lower each time. Right arm up. All right, reach the right arm on the left side body, hovering and holding for 3, 2, and 1. Stretch that right arm further, release it down to the floor, and then placing your right ear or your right cheek on the floor, you can keep your left hand boxed out. You can also extend that left arm forward. You can bind that left hand around your backside towards your right waist. Holding and breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your left hand to the floor if you had it lifted. Right arm comes up and release it down. Lift that left leg again and draw it over the outside of your right foot, gazing, looking over your right shoulder, bumping your hips to the left. And then release your left knee back in line. Tuck your toes, hammock your belly, gaze is lifted for cow. Release your toes, scoop and arch, rounding your spine. Inhale as you come through neutral spine, tuck your toes, gaze up toward the ceiling. Deep inhale. Flatten your toes as you exhale, scoop and arch, rounding your spine, gaze toward your navel. Come back to a flat back. All right, now we have the other side. Release the ball under your left hand if you used it on the right. We're going to extend that right leg straight back, flex the right toes, relax your left toes, and then lift and lower. So same options here. Keep your core nice and engaged. Avoid letting your belly hammock down, arching your spine, or rounding your spine out. You want a nice flat back. If you want to keep that pressure on, that resistance on, press your left hand into the floor with the ball. You can also release your left hand flat on the floor without the ball. If you like to focus on your core and your back strength, keeping that in mind, you can place your left hand palm facing up on your lower back, continuing to lift and lower that right leg, keeping it straight, keep the right toes flexed. Just a raise and a lower. Give me 3 more. Slow and controlled, core is engaged. And 2. 1 more. All right, release that ball off to the side. We won't use that ball again. Reach your left hand up towards the ceiling. Right leg stays extended back. Reach it under and through the right side body. 2 more times. Reach it up, opening up that chest. Under and through, reaching further each time. 3rd and final time, reach it up. Really pull the left arm far back, hovering and holding for 3, 2, and 1. Reach the left arm further, release it down, and then release your left ear or cheek on the floor. You can keep that right hand boxed out. You can extend that right arm long. You can also bind that right hand around your back towards your left hip to open up your right shoulder. wherever you choose to be, holding and breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Place that right hand back down. Lift up, left arm comes up, and release the left hand down. Go ahead and draw your right knee back in line with your left. Tuck your toes, and then hinging forwards and backwards. Just a little bit of movement here. Come find neutral spine. Bring your fingertips, face them towards your knees, and then very gently rotating forwards and backwards. Come back to a neutral spine. Bring your fingertips out towards the outer portion of your mat, and then move from right to left, left to right in a very gentle movement. Come back and find your center. Release your hands back to the top of the mat. Go ahead and flip over your right palm, bringing your palm facing up, and then gently hinging forwards and backwards, really stretching your forearm. Come back, find your neutral center spine. Flip your right hand over, switching sides. Flip your left palm over, forwards and backwards. And then when you come back and find your center spot, go ahead and flip your left hand over. We're going to come on to our bottom side by swinging your knees to the left or the right. We have just 2 more little moves. Go ahead and butterfly your knees. Bring the soles of your feet to touch. Pinky toes are outside. Elbows are wide behind your head. And we have the knees towards one another and away. That's 9 and 8. Last 7 and 6. 5 more and 4. That's 3, 2, and 1. Hold the knees wide. Hips raise and lower for 10 and 9. That's 8, 7, 6. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your hips down. Draw your knees in towards your chest. You can grab on your shins or the back side of your thighs, maybe rolling from side to side if that feels good to you. Keep your right knee in towards your right shoulder, avoiding your ribcage. Extend your left leg long on the floor. Hover that left leg and then flex your left toes. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. Lift your shoulders. Point, flex, circle out that right ankle. And then release your left leg down. Release your shoulders down with your left hand. Grab the outside of your right knee. Draw it across the left side of your body. Gazing, looking over your right shoulder. Maybe extend your right arm long. You can cactus that arm by bending and facing your fingertips towards the crown of your head. Come back through center with your right knee in towards your right shoulder. And switch. Left knee in towards your left shoulder. Right leg long to a hover. Point, flex the left toes, hover and flex the right toes. Tuck your chin to your chest, hover your shoulders, still circling out that left ankle. Release your shoulders and your right leg. With your right hand, grab the outside of your left knee, draw it across the right side of your body, gazing, looking over your left shoulder. Maybe extend your left arm long, opening up your chest. You can also cactus that arm. Bending it, fingertips facing towards the top of your mat. Go ahead and come back onto your back. Go ahead and find your happy baby. You can bring your feet up towards the ceiling, grabbing the outsides of your feet, grabbing the back sides of your thighs, maybe rolling from side to side. And then draw your knees together. Rock and roll yourselves a few times along your spine. I will make you hold it this time. As many times as you need before coming up to a seated position, crossing your ankles, sweep your arms up high overhead, and draw your arms down. Release your right hand down, left arm comes up high overhead. Cactus that left arm, extend the left arm, rotate and bring your left hand down towards your right thumb, and then draw it out in front, a big circle. Release your left hand down to the floor. Sweep your right arm up, right bicep towards your right ear. Cactus that right hand, and then draw the right arm down around towards your left thumb. And then draw that left arm down, both hands down, arms come up, and relax down. Fantastic work, everyone, today. Thank you so very much. Again, this was Barre Sculpt. My name's Amanda. See you all next time. Thank you.